Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. Over the course of the past 2 days, ever since the jury in the federal lawsuit styled as Rebecca Scofield versus Ashley Guillard returned a $10 million verdict in favor of the plaintiff, this case has been discussed, it's been debated, but there's little, it appears, as to why this verdict was so high. The difference comes from the fact that back in 2024, Plaintiff Scofield moved the court for permission to amend her complaint to add claims for punitive damages. This case has been pending since the 21st of December 2022, when Plaintiff Scofield, a University of Idaho history professor, brought a lawsuit against the defendant, Guillard, who was described as an online content creator, a psychic, a tarot card reader, bringing 2 claims for defamation of character. Count 1 alleged that the plaintiff had been defamed by the defendant, who publicly declared that she not only had culpability for the crimes that occurred at 1122 King Road on November 13th, 2022, when 4 University of Idaho students were catastrophically lost, unalived, in a rental home located steps away from the University of Idaho Moscow campus, where all 4 were pursuing their degrees. According to Count 1, the defendant had stated publicly that plaintiff she ordered those crimes. Count 2 asserted that the plaintiff was further defamed by the defendant, who alleged that the crimes had occurred because the plaintiff was involved in an extramarital affair with one of the students and wanted to cover it up. In 2024, the plaintiff sought and was granted leave to seek punitive damages, which are over and above any compensatory damages that the jury might award her, to compensate her for her losses that she can prove resulted from defamation. Punitive damages are in another category. And as we have reported on this case, other cases where punitive damages were on the table resulted in verdicts that could be very, very high. And that was the case that happened here. Because if you look at that verdict form, $7.5 million of the verdict were for punitive damages, punishment damages, as they've sometimes been called. The verdict form demonstrates that $2.5 million in punitive damages were awarded by that jury with respect to Count 2. Half of the entire award, however, $5 million, were the result of punitive damages for Count 1. Take away that punitive claim, and the damages would have been still quite high, a $2.5 million verdict, but it wouldn't have been the $10 million that the federal jury awarded plaintiff Rebecca Scofield on the 27th of February, 2026. This will now conclude this episode of the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.